All right, welcome to the People's Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Doug By, here with Mike Rossi. It's just the two of us, man. Just me
Just
and you,
back to the original OGs, one episode deep.
the original OGs. So today we're just going to do a matchups episode, right? We're just going to kind of break down every single game that's going to be played this week. There's 16 of them, obviously, and so we're going to try to dive into them as much as we can in as short a period as we can, so it doesn't get too dragged on for one thing or another. But you have a game that you're very interested in that's about to start in say about 45 minutes or so, half hour.
Yeah, 8:15 it starts. I mean, I'll have it on behind me, so if you catch me off to the side like this, it's because I'm trying to watch the game at the same time. First thing I want to do is I realize I just said original OG, and that's the dumbest thing that's ever been said on this podcast because the O in OG stands for original.
Is
So
original.
apologies for that. Yep.
Yeah. It's all right. There's gonna be a lot of stupid things that are said over time here. Already has been.
Oh yeah.
So this particular game, this Vikings Eagles game, Eagles are given 6.5. The over under is 49.5. Weather's not a concern at all. I know we're not going to give a lot of fantasy advice here because what's the point? We're not going to. This isn't going to be posted till tomorrow morning or later tonight. But what are you looking for in this game? So it's a banged up Eagles team that's coming into this game, right? You got a few guys missing here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna hit over the 49.5 because the banged up Eagles team is mainly on the defense. You got two people in the secondary that are out, Reed Blankenship and James Bradbury. So when you look at the Vikings offense and what they can do, it's passing game. So I think it'll be a Jalen Hurts versus Kirk Cousins type of match. But in the end, obviously the Eagles are going to come out 2-0, and it's all going to be perfect from there. This is the perfect season. It's coming, Doug.
The perfect season. You're calling that?
Yeah.
After that first game,
perfect
you're calling the perfect season?
I think so. I mean, that if that's the worst game of the season, they can still win. Yeah, this is going to be a great year.
I don't think that'll be the worst game of the season. You got a 16-point buffer to start the freaking game. I think.
No, the Eagles' worst game of the season. I'm saying.
Yeah. We'll see how you guys are against the Cowboys. That'll be the kind of measuring stick, I think. But what are your thoughts on some of the players tonight? Do you think that it's going to be Swift's backfield? Do you think it's going to be Penny's backfield? We're going to look back on this. We're going to look back and see if you were right.
I know. I honestly, I have no idea because obviously Penny wasn't active in week 1, but I still think that he takes more of the first down and second down role, and Swift takes the third down and the receiving down. So I think Swift would be more involved, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's all three getting a 33% share.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting with Boston Scott in the mix as well. Sirianni he did say a couple days ago that he thinks that Swift can be an every down back though, right? That he can be a lead back.
Coaches say a lot of things that don't happen.
They sure do. Yeah, so what about on the Vikings side? You think it's going to be an air show tonight?
Yeah, I mean, if obviously it's not advice because it's going to be too late, but hopefully you started Jordan Addison and obviously Justin Jefferson. I think they're both going to get theirs. So yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring through the air, which team has the ball last type of game.
Yeah. Is Cox out? Did I see that as well?
I know he's questionable. I didn't see the update to see if he was actually playing or not. I didn't have time. I was doing so much research for this episode.
Yeah, because your dedication. So much dedication. Yeah. That I was just wondering about for Madison. I don't know. The Patriots weren't able to run too well against them last week. So
well, honestly, even if Cox is out, you still have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis up the middle. So it's not like they're gonna get a break from it.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the games that matter for fantasy purposes. Let's jump into this Raiders-Bills game. That's gonna be the first one we talk about. And the line on that is Bills given 9.5. Over under is 47. The weather's saying 70 with possible showers. So I don't love that for Josh Allen. I want it to be perfect conditions for him right now.
It has to be, right?
It has to be. So my question is, can Josh Allen and the Bills bounce back? Are they going to be able to bounce back against this Raiders team?
Yeah, I mean, it's Josh Allen. He's shown this in his career that he's a gunslinger. He's this era's Brett Favre, right? Like he's gonna go out there. He's throwing it up for grabs, but he did come out after the game and say he's got to stop doing that as much. You know, it's not a sack or a incompletion is better than an interception like that. So I think he's going to come out this week and he's going to be more protective. And he's going to be the Josh Allen that we thought he was going to be coming into the year.
For this week, I agree with you. I just think he's got too much Brett Favre gunslinger in him. You know,
he does. Yeah,
I mean, it's just going to keep on coming out.
We watched that game. It's not only gunslinger too. Like there was a time when he was running the ball, and he could have easily just ran out of bounds, and he cut back in bounds to run somebody over for another yard. And it's like, yeah, that's awesome, but sometimes you just gotta give up on the play and go to the next one.
Yeah, and I love watching him play because he's a fun player to watch do all that kind of stuff, but it's just not the smartest thing to do right now. He's too young, and he's gonna get look what happened to Cam Newton. I mean, he was 30 years old and washed up, pretty much, right? I think he was 32 when he was on the Patriots, and so. All right, let's So on the Raiders side of things, unless you want to talk any more Bills, you got any more Bills stuff you want to talk about?
No, I just want to real quick. I mean, obviously, fantasy wise, if you're the James Cook owner, you're starting him. If you're the Stephon Diggs owner, you're starting him. If you're the Gabe Davis owner, I mean, he came out of the gate and did exactly what he did last year. Are you still starting him with confidence this week?
I'm flexing him. I'm at least flexing him. I don't think he's going to be a number 2 receiver in any leagues. But I'm flexing him just for the high upside of Gabe Davis and being hopeful that Josh Allen is going to come out and be a better version of himself.
Let's say you're obviously if you are the waiver winner on Puka, you're starting Puka over him, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Any other waiver pickups that you'd start over him? Like if Kendrick Bourne, are you starting Gabe Davis over Kendrick Bourne?
Kendrick Bourne is probably a borderline. I'm a little bit biased on that, but I mean, we were talking about this earlier, right? I think he had, how many targets did he have? I think he had 8 targets, 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns, I believe is what his line was. And he had 56 pass plays that he was on the field for, which was the most in the NFL for week 1.
I was trying to look up the targets, and I wasn't in the screen that I thought I was in.
Okay, so we don't have that.
Apologies.
Okay,
I can get it right now, but let's go to the Raiders.
Let's go to the Raiders. And for the Raiders, really, I mean, what I want to talk about is there going to be a next man up after Jacoby Myers went down? Is there another guy on that team that you think is going to have that kind of a day? I mean, not 2 touchdown kind of a day, but a startable kind of day alongside Davante Adams?
Not really. I mean, nobody that I'm starting with confidence, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think I would, even if they have to pass the ball. I think it's going Devonta Smith and check downs to Josh Jacobs. I'm not forcing somebody in the lineups, maybe a DFS lineup, Adams. But not in my fantasy. What did I say? What did I say?
Devonta Smith. That's all right. You got Eagles on the mind.
I got Eagles on the mind. Yeah, Devonta Adams, obviously. And Kendrick Bourne had 11 targets.
11 targets. Yeah, okay. So more than I said. Yeah, so I think I would go back to that. I think I'd start Bourne over Gabe Davis this coming week because I think Bourne is the number 1 guy there. What do you think about that? Would you start him over him or no?
No, I still am taking Josh Allen as my quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Josh Allen in the Bills offense, particularly. It's not Gabe over Bourne. It's that offense versus the Pats offense.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump on to the next one, unless you want to talk any more Raiders.
No, I'm good.
All right. So Bears Bucks. That line is Bucks are given 2.5, over unders 41, and they're saying some scattered thunderstorms, 87 degrees there. So it's gonna be a little muggy and disgusting. The Bears might not love that so much.
Yeah, the Bucks too. I mean, that's the battle right there. That if there's a matchup that's going to be the ugliest of the week, this could end up being a 13-10 game.
Yeah, that over under. I think I'd go under on this game.
I'm going under.
Yeah, I think that's almost an obvious under. So, do you think the Bears offense is going to bounce back at all, though, after saying that?
No, I don't. I mean,
don't see anything?
Justin Fields. No, I really until they prove it to me, which I don't. I mean, Justin Fields has what? This is his third year, right? Or third year, right?
Yeah, he was drafted the same year as Mac, third year.
Yeah, so his third year, and the only thing he's proved to me is that he's running back. Like he hasn't shown me anything other than that. And in a rainy game, this isn't the week he's going to do it. So no, I'm not starting. DJ Moore to me is I'm benching him.
You're benching him.
I'm benching DJ Moore. And granted, I would have never drafted him because I'm not a big DJ Moore guy this year. But if I did, the Pukas of the world, the people we just talked about, or if you had a Zay Flowers on the bench or something, yeah, I'm starting these people over DJ Moore.
Yeah, I agree with the Zay Flowers. Puka, I'd be I think a little more iffy on. I just think obviously he just had 15 targets, right? Puka was coming off of that, and we'll talk more about him when we get to the Rams. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, he surprised everyone. Week 2, the defenses are going to be honing in on him a little bit more.
Yeah, no, that is true.
It might have been a little
for you. I know you have DJ Moore in a lot of leagues, and we talked about it on Monday's episode. But let's say he comes out and gives you another stinker. Are you targeting him at all? Do you still believe in him, or at the end of the day, if he has 2 bad games in a row, you're going to give up too?
I think he's one of those guys, anyways, and it has been his entire career, where he's very boomer bust kind of guy, anyways. So I kind of expected and knew that coming into it. And I think I said this in the last one too. I don't think in any of my leagues, maybe one of them, he's the second receiver, but in most of them, he's the third guy. So kind of knew that coming into it. Was just hopeful that maybe with that new shiny toy that they were going to use him a little bit more and a little better than they did.
What about on the Bucs side?
So on the Bucs
starting
side,
both receivers, right? You have to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Basically, is it just Evans and Godwin on the Bucs? Is that it for fantasy purposes? Because I know Rachaad White had a real bad game. You have him in at least one league, right? That I know of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm forced to start him, and I have him in 2 leagues, just because he dropped, I think, to like the 7th round. And I thought the volume, that was a good pick in the 7th round, but in one league I'm forced to start him because I think my next, unless Eckler's out, because I have Josh Kelly as my next best running back. So if Eckler's out, I'm going to start Josh Kelly over him. I think that's an obvious decision. But in the other league, I am benching him.
You are going to bench him?
Yeah.
And who are you putting in his place? You remember?
I mean, I have 7 leagues. I'm getting them all mixed up right now off the top of my head. But I'll try to find that out and we'll come back to it.
All right, let's jump to the next game. Let's go to Seahawks at Lions. Lions are given 4.5. Over under is 47. And that is an indoor game, obviously. So no weather conditions there. My first question is with the Seahawks, on the Seahawks side, will Geno look better? And which wide receiver of the 3 of them are you targeting more than, or would you be more comfortable starting?
Out of the 3 of them, I'm most comfortable starting DK Metcalf. I do think Geno comes back and he bounces back. I mean, hopefully it's not as bad as it was last week, the whole season, because that was, what did he throw, 105 yards or something in the first half, and then like 9 in the second half.
It was ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was ugly. And DK Metcalf came out. He had a quote that he said he didn't give it his all. I don't like that quote because why aren't you giving it your all? But
game 1 especially, like week 1, man.
Yeah,
if you can't get up for week 1, then we got a little problem here.
Yeah, but if I'm starting him. I'm starting Tyler Lockett. He's back from concussion protocol, right? He's fine this week.
I believe so.
I think JSN, I'm still giving it another week for his wrist and the whole rookie aspect of not being on the field all the time yet. But if I'm the Geno owner, I'm looking for other options. I would you start like a Brock Purdy? I'd start Brock Purdy over Geno.
I'd start Brock Purdy over Geno. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would do something like that. I would hope that the Geno owner drafted someone else around that range anyways. You can't draft Geno expecting him just to be the guy, you know.
Exactly.
Hopefully you drafted like a Tua or an Anthony Richardson, something like that.
What about because in that range you got Geno and Kirk Cousins? Obviously this isn't advice because it's too late now, but would you have started Kirk over Geno?
Yeah, I would have tonight.
I think I'm with
you.
For
what we were talking about, I think it is going to be a little more of an air show tonight. So
yep.
And I mean, Kirk threw the hell out of the ball last week, so I don't see why they're going to stop doing that. But yep, I agree with that. So on the Lions side, can we please see some Gibbs? Just a little bit more. Just want to see a little more.
I mean, the good news is we saw it with every single game. It wasn't just Jahmyr Gibbs. It wasn't just Dan Campbell being a hard ass and not playing his rookies. Bijan, JSN, Addison, like all these rookies, they all had, 50, 55% snap count. So there's better games to come. And it has to, I mean, what Demont average 3.5 a game? He's exactly the
3.5 a carry, something like that. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Gibbs 3.5 a game. I don't think he'd be starting.
No, 3.5 a carry.
A carry, yeah. Yeah,
which is exactly what we expected.
Yeah, he's a plotter. At this point in his career, that's what he is. He's going to get you some touchdowns on your fantasy team, though. So he's not a bad guy to have on your team. But Gibbs is so exciting, so much more explosive. And every time he touched that ball, it looked like he could have taken it to the house,
Yeah.
I think if he doesn't trip on himself.
There was a stat that was he had 7 broken tackles, I think it was, in his first NFL game. And DeAndre Swift last year for the Lions had 24 total in the whole year. So, I mean, you look at that number alone and his explosiveness, he can break tackles. He's going to earn his way onto the field more and more. So don't trade him. That's the main thing I'm trying to say. Obviously, you're starting him, but don't give up. Keep him on your roster.
Yeah, don't give him up. He's a trade target. Definitely go after that man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To see if you can lure him off of any teams. But no, otherwise, do not trade him. Keep him on your lineup and keep plugging him in there because as the season goes on, he's just going to get better and better. All right, let's jump on to the next game unless you want to talk any more Lions.
Well, let's talk Jared Goff quick.
I like Goff. I like Goff this week.
This defense showed, Matthew Stafford and the no-name receivers could do against the Seahawks defense. So Jared Goff and Amon-Ra can do it too, right?
I would think so. I would definitely think so.
What about like a Josh Reynolds, flex worthy?
Yeah, he might be like a second flex. If it's just a one flex league, I don't think so. But
not one flex.
If it's a two flex, two flex, I would think he's flex worthy.
All right, that's all I wanted to bring up for that.
Okay.
Permission to move on, sir.
All right, let's jump on to the Chargers Titans. Chargers given 3 at Titans. Over under is 45. And no weather concerns there. 80 degrees, partly cloudy. So, do you have any new updates on Eckler? They're kind of
he didn't practice.
Right, but I thought they were kind of waiting until maybe even tomorrow to see if he's going to go or not.
Yeah, so that is the update, is that you have to keep, because he didn't practice. We don't know if it's just giving him extra rest because he's a veteran, or if it's because it was like ankle and personal listed as the reason he didn't practice. So which one is it? So
yeah.
The only update we can give is just watch that closely, and hopefully you listened to us and said if you're the Eckler owner, you have to go get Josh Kelly.
100%. I did not do that. Probably should have. The reason I didn't is because it was a 5-bench league. I didn't have room for him.
Okay.
But
okay.
5-person bench.
I don't like the reasoning, but okay. So D-Hop didn't practice Thursday. So you have to keep an eye on D-Hop, obviously, on the Titans side of the ball. But if he's there, you're starting him with confidence. He had, I think, 11 targets, I want to say, off the top of my head, and 7 catches. So in his first game, to get the majority of, yes, it was terrible football by Ryan Tannehill, but to get the majority of his targets, and now going against a Chargers team that just let up 480 yards through the year, you have to start him with confidence.
Yeah. I got a kid over here that's whining a little bit. So
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell.
uh,
I'll keep going, Doug. We all know I like talking, so if you need me to keep going, just let me know.
keep talking. I'm gonna handle this real quick. Keep talking.
All right.
Talk yeah, just keep talking Chargers Titans.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
go. All right. So obviously on the Chargers side of the ball, you're starting Justin Herbert. There's no question there. If Eckler's healthy, you're starting him. If he's not healthy, then Josh Kelly is automatically should be in your lineup. Keenan Allen, love Keenan Allen every single week. Target machine. Mike Williams was a little bit scary, but I think where you drafted him, you kind of have to start him. I don't know how long I can go on with the Chargers Titans before it becomes just everybody laughing at me because I'm trying to just keep going. Oh, hey, Doug, how are you?
Hey, I'm back.
Woo! All right. I
How
think
was
I
that?
did the whole matchup. We can go to the next team.
All right,
Trust
let's
me.
go to the next team. So we got Colts Texans as the next. Colts are giving 1.5, over under 40. It's an indoor game again in Houston. My question is, will AR keep making progress and be a top 12 quarterback this week?
Against the Titans, yeah. I mean, the Texans, yeah. Typically, quarterbacks against the Texans suck, right? That's like their MO is, even though the Texans are so bad.
It was last year, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't need to do anything in the second half, but the Colts aren't good enough to make that come to fruition this week.
No. And AR is going to get his rush yards, and I agree with all that. We have a league together again. We'll talk about it. That AR and Goff.
Yep.
We have another tough decision this week to make on
That is because they both have good matchups, but I think we talked previously and kind of decided AR, right?
Well, we both kind of like the upside of him a little bit more,
Yeah.
but Goff is the safe play. All right.
And you
on the
fuck
go ahead.
safe. Fuck safe, Doug.
Yeah, no. I'm down
Gotta
for AR.
risk it for the biscuit.
Let's do it. I'm down for AR. Okay. On the Texans side, is this going to remain a split backfield, you think? Or I mean,
Fucking hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's gonna be a little bit of a split, at least let it be Devin Singletary, the guy that you signed to be the backup. You know, like, is Damian Pierce that bad?
I don't think so. I think he kind of proved last year he's much better than where he was drafted. And I don't understand why they didn't use Devin Singletary more, especially in the pass game. You know, that's kind of where he was an asset for the Bills.
Yeah.
So,
and if anything, Damian Pierce came out and he proved himself as a hustle player. You know, like he gave every run 100%. Reward a player like that. Give him the time.
Give him the time. Give him the rock. See what he does. What do you have to lose there in Houston? You know,
Doug, talk Nico. I know you like Nico, so let's talk Nico.
I do like Nico.
Nico Collins, for the record.
Nico Collins. He had 14 points in full PPR last week. I don't know how many targets he had, but he's one of those guys where, when we're talking, my son,
don't worry, he just had a pair of scissors. He's fine.
Yeah. No, he had to go poo. That's what it was.
Okay, so, there you go.
Yep. Yeah, no, I like Nico Collins a lot, and I think we were discussing it earlier. I'm plugging him in, I think, over Drake London. It's a toss up for me. I mean, obviously with the Drake London putting up a goose egg last week, it scares me, man. It's that offense scares the hell out of me because they're definitely a run offense, and they got Kyle Pitts there as well. It's not like Drake's the only show in town if they do start throwing the ball, you know?
That offense scares you, Doug. I have a bet on the line that if Desmond Ridder doesn't throw for 3,500 yards, I have to get my chest waxed.
Yeah, but you have like 3 hairs on your chest, so
that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it will. It will hurt. I don't want that to happen for me. I think mine is the a rookie tight end cracking the top 12, right? That was my chest wax. And Laporta scared me a little bit.
Yeah, well, and Kincaid, they were both very involved, but What about Pittman on the Colts? You comfortable? He proved it.
I am and I'm not. He's not going to get a screen pass that goes for 39 yards and a touchdown every week, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's the guy there. So yeah, obviously he's the one they want to get involved. So I like Pittman as a flex again this week. Why not? Just keep on trying to roll with him.
And one more.
Yeah.
You're the person that picked up Zach Moss. You starting him?
I didn't pick up Zach Moss.
I'm not saying you, like
Oh,
pretend,
oh.
Doug. We're talking for the people. Remember,
Oh,
this is a
I thought
podcast
you
for
were
the people.
I thought you were trying to call me out on something I didn't do.
No.
If you pick up
Pretend.
Zach Moss, you're starting him if you're very, very running back needy. And it's really probably, I mean, I don't even know if you're starting him if you're running back needy. I don't see him doing much this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How about you? Would you start him?
I think, I mean, I have a league where I would love to have Zach Moss on my roster because my guy that I was starting last week was Antonio Gibson. And I'll take Zach Moss's role over Antonio Gibson's plays like that. So I think running back needy, like you said, yeah, but I'm not forcing him into my lineup this week.
No, because I don't think he's going to be the every down back. I think it's still,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be split. So I don't think he's just going to jump in and be the guy.
Deion fumbled twice last week.
Yeah.
So and they lost by 10. So, all right, let's go to the next one.
All right. Packers Falcons. Packers give him 1.5. Over unders 40.5. Another indoor game. Can Jordan Love be a startable QB again in your mind? Is he going to be a top 12 quarterback again this week?
No,
I
don't think so.
Not against that Falcons D.
No, this is an interesting one to me because the Packers went against the Bears defense, which is not good. So was it Jordan Love or was it the Bears defense? And then the Falcons D looked really good, but it was against the Panthers offense. So was it the Falcons D or was it the Panthers offense? So I don't like the matchup, to be honest. I think the Falcons, they take a lot of time off the clock. They're a rushing team, so it's not going to be a shootout type of game. And Jordan Love isn't going to have the ball in his hands as much as he did last week. And Christian Watson still might not be there. So I'm taking, I would pick Jordan Love up as a stash potentially if you're a streaming guy, but I'm not starting him this week.
Yeah, this is a tough call. I agree because it's a week one. You don't want to over exaggerate anything or yeah, that's two bad offenses that went against each other last week. You know, the Falcons gave up 127 passing yards, but it was to Bryce Young. So yeah, I agree with you that the Falcons, they're going to run the ball, kill the clock a lot, and agree with everything you said. Is
that
Bijan,
being said,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, that being said, I'm Romeo Doubs. I'm starting him, especially if Christian Watson is out again.
Yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns with 49% snap count. So if he's in the game more this week, I mean, granted, I'm not saying he's going to get more touchdowns, but he's going to get more targets and he is a lead guy. So I would have confidence in Doubs, especially if Watson's out.
Yeah. Flex Doubs.
Flex. Yeah.
Is Bijan going to get more looks this week? Or you think they're going to just stick to what worked?
No, I don't. I think this is the offense for a little bit because it worked, and Arthur Smith is a creature of his own habits. You know,
yeah,
he's going to run the ball a ton, which is awesome for Bijan. And Bijan got, I think, 7 targets and 6 catches out of the backfield. So he's being utilized, but Algier has a role in this offense, and Bijan owners just have to accept that.
I agree with you. Is London going to catch a ball?
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes.
Nice.
He's going to catch multiple balls.
Multiple? How many are you calling? Over under London catching 2.5 balls.
Oh, I'm going to go over.
Okay.
4 for 52.
4 for 52. No touchdown?
Yeah. No touchdown.
Yeah.
No. Kyle Pitts is going to touchdown, though.
I was going to say, he should be a touchdown target, though, because he's 6'5".
Kyle Pitts, touchdown.
Kyle Pitts, touchdown. You calling it?
Calling
a shot. All right, let's jump to the next game. Ravens at Bengals. Bengals given 3.5. Over unders 46. And weather's really not a concern. 76 degrees, partly cloudy. Lamar definitely needs a better showing. And is it Zay Flowers? Is it his? Is he the guy there? Is it him?
Yeah. As far as fantasy goes, I'm the only player I'm starting is Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
On that side of the ball. To be honest, even if it's Justice Hill or Gus Edwards, we don't really know yet. So unless you have to start one of them, the only options I'm starting is Lamar Jackson, still starting him, obviously, Zay Flowers, and if Mark Andrews plays, which he's still not practicing, so who knows? But that's the only options I'm starting on the Ravens side of the ball.
Yeah, I think Lamar will have a little bit of a bounce back. He's going to have to put on his cape this week.
Yeah,
but it's Zay Flowers' show for sure. And on the Bengals side, God, there's so much to talk about on the Bengals side. You know, I mean, can we do something on offense?
You see that, Doug?
We're starting.
Can't see it. Yeah, it's happening. But the Bengals offense, I mean, they have to be better. There's no way. Go ahead. Oh shit, I gotta do this fucking shit again. All right. Oh, he's just shutting the door. All right, there we go. Whew, that was better. But no, the Bengals offense, you're starting everybody that you started last week. Unless you started somebody stupid. But, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, you're starting them. There's nothing you can do. Hopefully they're better. And that's it.
That's it. I think they'll all be much better. I saw Michael Buffer behind you there.
Oh, wow.
Is that a thing for the Eagles? Is that their thing?
No, I don't think. I think it might be just a Thursday Night Football thing. I think it's an Amazon thing. Yeah, Amazon
thing. Amazon. All right,
Doug. Let's go.
Chiefs at Jaguars. Chiefs are given 3.5. Over unders 51. I think that's the highest of the week for the over under. For good reason. That's two really good offenses. One. Yeah, 85 degrees. Rain and thunderstorms though.
It doesn't matter.
You don't think it matters with those guys?
No, I mean as far as who you start sitting, it doesn't matter, right?
No. I think it could affect the over under a little bit, but as far as your start sitting, no. Kelsey, any updates on him? I haven't seen too much on that.
You know what? I didn't. Let me check quick.
But if he's gonna
I think they said they found like more blood in the knee than they expected. Yeah, week 2 status still up in the air. So
I bet he doesn't.
He practices in a limited fashion, but it looks like he's on the wrong side of it.
Yeah. And again, if the Chiefs are smart, that's your best offensive weapon besides Mahomes. Don't do anything stupid. Do you have a mirror up where you can see the TV behind you, or?
No, I can see it. I'm looking at my screen right now where I could see it.
Oh, okay. So that's your mirror.
Yeah. I gotta move my microphone a little bit though.
So if Kelsey isn't playing, are you starting anybody on that offense besides Mahomes?
I mean, Pacheco, if you're if you drafted him as a starter, I'm not, again, he was the guy there still, CEH and who the fuck's the third running back that
Jerick McKinnon.
There you go. McKinnon, they both got time, but Pacheco was the guy, and then he got hurt a little bit and took some time off. But I'm still starting Pacheco on that offense.
Okay. Yeah, because I would be curious about starting Tony in a flex play.
I'm not doing it.
If you're needy. You're needy.
I took Sky Moore as my fucking start of the week last week, and look how that turned out. I'm not doing that shit again. I'm coming to the realization that Pat Mahomes, he doesn't care. He's just throwing it to who's open. And at the end of the day, none of them can catch it.
Right. So Tony, didn't know how to use his hands. He forgot how to catch a ball, but he had 8 targets. So that was something that was a little bit promising.
Do you think did you see how frustrated Pat Mahomes was? He's not getting 8 targets again this week, Doug.
No, I wouldn't play him this week. But if he's on waivers right now, if people drop Tony, I'd go pick him up and stash him on my bench.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. All right, let's go Jaguars.
All right, Jaguars. Is it still gonna be Ridley's comeback party?
Yeah.
Ridley's gonna have a monster year, right?
Ridley's here to stay. Yeah. You're starting him, you're starting ETN, you're starting Trevor Lawrence.
Christian Kirk, he had kind of a down week.
Yeah. And he wasn't on the field as much as Zay Jones either.
He wasn't. No, because he's the slot guy, though.
Yeah. So again, this is going to be a shootout. So I think you still can start Christian Kirk this week. Not with confidence. I mean, do it with your eyes closed and don't watch that game. But
yeah, he's
I
another
would
flex
still,
play. He's not a
yeah,
he's not he shouldn't be your 1 or 2, but he throw him in at flex because he'll get some targets.
yeah,
He'll get some catches.
yeah. I'm on board.
All right, let's jump to the next one. So we got 49ers at Rams. 49ers are given 8.5 in this game, even after that Rams showing they just made.
Yeah.
Over under
doesn't lie though.
No, it doesn't. Over under is 44.5. We touched on him a little bit already, but you think Purdy's the real deal?
No, I think he's great for this offense. He's a game manager that isn't afraid to put it in tight spots, and he's smart with the ball. Like for what Kyle Shanahan and this offense does as a West Coast offense with
big catch,
as many weapons.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Devonta,
Who was it, Doug?
I think it was Devonta.
Devonta. There we go. That guy's a fucking animal. But he has so many weapons that I like. I mean, I like him in this offense. He's a product of the system, but he's the perfect product for the system.
He could also move better than Garoppolo did, so he's got that aspect to his game as well. So I think he's actually a little bit better version of Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And Garoppolo brought him to the Super Bowl. So,
and I think on the 49ers side, the 4 people that you drafted high, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and CMC, they're all starts onto the Ram side.
Well, yeah, just real quick. I was just going to say, though, is Ayuk the alpha, though? Or do you think that was just a week one?
No,
think he's the alpha,
I think he is. Okay. Yeah. The guy, the thing that I like about Ayuk is it's not only how good of a route runner he is, but it's what he does when he doesn't have the ball. He's fucking blocking downfield. Do you see that CMC touchdown, the 65-yard run? Ayuk was leading the way downfield with them. And Kyle Shanahan, he's going to reward you for giving that hustle. So I don't know. I just love
he's the best
way
route runner. Yeah, he's the best route runner on that team, anyways. So
I think he's here to stay. Not 2 touchdowns every week, obviously, but he's a legit wide receiver 2 in this league.
Agreed. Okay, a couple quick questions on the Rams side. Was Puka a one-hit wonder? And can Cam Akers average more than 2 yards a carry?
Puka is a 5-week wonder or 6-week wonder. He's a wonder until Cooper Kupp comes back because they're essentially the same player, just Cooper Kupp and Cooper Kupp Jr. So I'm starting Puka until he either proves me wrong or Cooper Kupp comes back. And Cam Akers, I just don't fucking know, man. I mean, that was such a confusing backfield with you. It's just Sean McVay. I can't read it. I have no idea. I don't know what to say on this, but 22 carries is awesome, and he's gonna produce.
Yeah, he had
higher.
The workload.
Are they kicking
a field goal? They're kicking a field goal. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So Akers had the workload. If he can average even 3 yards a carry, let's bump it up a little bit.
Seriously,
let's take baby steps.
Yeah.
I'm
still starting him this week. I think I'm still starting him this week.
100%. Yeah, I'm definitely still starting because of the workload. That's why.
Exactly. Yep.
The other thing I wanted to touch on a little bit, and you and I were talking about it before the show, is Cooper Kupp's injury. And we're going to talk about it more when it comes to Waller. But do you want to talk about what you kind of heard on both those guys?
Well, I follow Fantasy Docs on Instagram, and if you don't follow, it's an awesome follow. He just talks about fantasy injuries and NFL injuries and how they relate to fantasy and weeks out and stuff. And they said on Cooper Kupp and on Darren Waller that it's not just a hamstring injury; it's nerve damage as well because of scar tissue buildup. And when that happens, it produces more hamstring injuries. Like your risk of re-injury is a lot higher.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, Darren Waller is not on the injured list right now. He's expected to be a full-time participant on the game on Sunday. I'm trading him as soon as I can. I'm not risking, especially at a tight end position like that, where if he gets hurt, you're fucked. Go get like a Tyler Higbee and then some. I'd rather get safe than have
like
him
we
on
were
my
talking
team.
about beforehand. If you can, do it now. Do it now and try to get as much back as you can before everyone hears about it. Do it now. Because there's
Yeah.
something with their sciatic nerves that's going on with them. What about Cup? You doing the same thing with Cup? Because I am.
Not you can't right now. I'm not doing it right now. When he's I would do it right before the week that he's supposed to come back. But right now, to get 3 weeks less value when people already know he's out, I'm waiting still on Cup.
All right, that's a good call. I like that. All right, well, the next game was the Giants and Cardinals. So it's the Giants at Cardinals. Giants are given 5.5. Over under 39.5. That's another indoor game. But I was gonna touch on Waller there, but also they as a team, that team just has to be better than last week. And I think they will. Actually, Barkley, I didn't think looked too bad. And I think Daniel Jones is gonna have a bounce back against this Cardinals team, somewhat. I still wouldn't start Daniel Jones though if I had him.
Daniel Jones or Brock Purdy?
Daniel Jones or Brock Purdy. Yeah, all day.
Daniel Jones or let's go with Derek Carr.
I'm probably going Daniel Jones just because of his rush upside. But that's where the line is.
The line is right there. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right, and then on the Cardinals side, can James Conner even remain relevant in an inept offense like that?
Yeah, he can.
Because he's just the only guy
he's
that's really touching the ball.
Yeah, he's not practicing, but if you've ever owned James Conner, if you know anything about James Conner, this is what he does every single fucking year. He just doesn't start, and then he doesn't practice, and
then he plays.
Yeah, he's just always on the injury report. But you're starting James Conner, and you're starting Darren Waller, and you're starting Saquon Barkley, and that's it. End of list.
Till something happens, you start them all. All right, next game, Jets at Cowboys. Cowboys are given 9. Over under 38.5, and that's another indoor game in Dallas. 9 points. I think it should be like 14 points.
Yeah, it's gonna be ugly.
It's gonna be real ugly. The Zach Wilson era begins again. And
unfortunately,
I feel
cover him.
I feel very bad for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you didn't trade Garrett Wilson yet, then you're gonna have to wait at least another week because against the Cowboys defense, you can't expect much, right? Like not out of Garrett Wilson. He's still talented, but this D line getting to Zach Wilson and not allowing him to throw down the field or making dumb mistakes, you can't expect Garrett Wilson to do much this game. You have to start him if you have him. You're not benching him.
No, you're not benching him.
Yeah, don't watch it, please. Hopefully he ends up with a touchdown or something randomly like he did last week where Zach Wilson threw it to the defender and Garrett Wilson still
quite
grabbed
the juggling display.
Yeah, you have to hope for that.
Yeah. Yep. I saw I'd never heard any interviews from Garrett Wilson, never heard him talk before, but after the game, he seems like a good dude. I like that kid.
I love Garrett Wilson. I didn't watch Hard Knocks, but I've seen like clips of him and he's just a funny, down to earth dude. I love everything about his character.
100%. All right. So on the Cowboys side, is that D really that good?
Yes,
I think it is, and it's going to show it again this week against that Jets offense. And me personally, I'd like to see a little more on offense, but I don't think we're going to this week either because I don't think they're going to need it.
No, this is going to be
and plus the Jets have a good D.
So. They do. Yeah. This is going to be low scoring. I think Tony Pollard could have himself a game out of the backfield. But I do think it's going to be low scoring on both sides. I could see this game. What is it? 38 points, 38.5.
38.5.
I think that's a great line. That's exactly where I was thinking, somewhere around there.
Yeah. All right. Next game, Commanders at Broncos. Broncos given 3.5. Over under 39. No weather concerns there. 81 and sunny out in Denver there. Yeah. I want to see more Jahan Dotson. That's what I want to see on the Commanders side. And my
Terry.
question, and Scary Terry, but he was a little banged up, so I understood that. My question on their offense though is B-Rob the guy there, or do you think that was just a week 1 usage?
No, I think he's the guy. Antonio Gibson is he's going to be in there with receiving downs, but as far as the guy in that offense, Ron Rivera and Brian Robinson, they're a perfect match for each other.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a safe running back. He likes him. I don't think he's going to be taking him out either.
No.
On the Broncos side, how will Judy affect this offense? Is it going to
It
take
depends.
Cortland Sutton away a little bit? Because every time, and I don't have the stats in front of me, but every time Cortland Sutton and Judy are on the same field together, Cortland Sutton's stats drop dramatically. It's a crazy ass stat that I'll look up and maybe give it to you for the Instagram.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's a dramatic drop in production when Jerry Judy is healthy on the field.
Yeah, and that's why I say it depends. Is he going to be on a snap count his first week back? Because if he's a full-time go receiver, that is Russell Wilson's favorite target. If he's on a snap count, then I'm shooting Cortland Sutton I'm playing Cortland Sutton all day. I'm shooting him in my lineups. So I meant to say,
Yeah.
I'm putting him in my
Even
lineups
that.
all day again. But if Judy's full time and ready to go, you have to worry about Sutton because they never played well on the field together.
Never have. And it's always been Judy's show. So that'll be interesting to see. Let's get to the next game. The Dolphins at Patriots. Unless you had anything more to say about that last one, Mike.
No, we're good. I do actually one thing.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams came out after the game and said that his knee kept feeling it got better as the game went on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love to see that, because that just means that he needed to wear off some of the rust. And now he might be a full-time back.
Yeah, I wish I got some shares of him. I didn't get any shares of him.
Yeah, me
6
too.
leagues.
All right, 3 left.
Me off a little bit. 3 left. Dolphins at Patriots. Dolphins given 3. Over-unders 46.5. 65 degrees and cloudy. My question on the Dolphins side, can Tyreek be contained?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Do you think, I know Belichick, that's what he's going to try to do, right?
Yeah, I think he's probably going to have, what do you have? 210 receiving yards last week with 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Something wild like that. I think it's going to be more like 100 for 1, something like that. It's going to be like half of what he produced last week.
Yeah. More of like a great wide receiver, but not like crazy. I think he's on pace right now for 3,400 yards receiving. So yeah, that's not going to keep up, but he's still going to have a game.
Yeah, nobody saw him getting better when he left Patrick Mahomes, but that is exactly what's happened.
He did.
Yeah.
He said he called himself a 2,000 this year.
He did. And maybe he'll be on his way. Other question is, will A-Chain being there change the run game much?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will. Mostert's still going to be the main guy, but A-Chain's going to be involved a little bit, especially in the passing game. And he's going to show his explosiveness, and he's going to have, you're not starting A-Chain, but he's going to take some away from Mostert.
Yeah, A-Chain's not even a flex play for you this week, right? It's a wait and see with him.
Yeah, you have to, especially against the Patriots defense is good. And if there's one thing they can stop more than anything, it's the run game. So
yeah, and going back to the Tyreek Hill thing, I don't think he can be contained either. As much of a scumbag I think he is. I couldn't hold back on it, sorry. But
anytime he's mentioned.
Yeah. But I think he's going to have a lesser game, obviously. It's an obvious statement from what he just did last week. But I like seeing some of the role players. I want to see what they do. I think maybe like a Braxton Berrios, something like that.
That's what I was going to say. Or Smith too. I think he had the
Craycroft. Craycroft, I think, had a touchdown last week. So
didn't Smith? Correct me if I'm not that far off if I am wrong, but I think he had the most snap counts, the highest snap percentage of any tight end in week 1.
That's a possibility. I think he had 3 catches for 44 yards.
Obviously not the greatest game, but to be on the field constantly like that, like let's see what he can do.
Yeah, how many times did Tua throw in that game? Can you look that up for me while
I can.
While I move on here.
Look that up. Yeah.
But yeah, I do.
30.
Go ahead.
45.
45 times. So that's a lot of passes. But that is a passing team. So that might be kind of on par with them throughout the year. All right, let's jump to the Patriots. So on the Patriots side, is it going to be a similar split between Zeke and Ramondre, you think?
Yeah,
That
I mean, it
that was
worked,
last
right?
week?
They both look good.
Yeah, I thought personally, I thought Zeke looked a little more explosive than Ramondre, and it showed with their
Yeah.
carries.
It seemed like he had that chip on his shoulder, like he wanted to prove himself to the Cowboys, you know?
A little bit. Definitely seemed like it. He looks, I don't know, he looks thinner maybe. He didn't look like a plotter like I thought I was going to be watching. And I was surprised how much he was involved in the passing game as well. He had 4 catches in that game. So 5 catches.
Yeah, 5 catches.
Okay, yeah. So he's way more involved in the pass game than I thought he was going to be too. And he didn't get that rushing touchdown, but those are going to come as well. So for me,
And I'm think actually so he had 5 catches and Ramondre had 6 catches.
Yeah. Yeah, they were, I mean, but he threw a ton. I think he was.
No, I
like
know,
the
but I'm
50s
saying
for,
that they're both getting worked in the passing game. Even if it's 3 and 3 every week, that's still more than you expected out of Zeke.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Because if you're getting 3 catches out of Zeke a week, you might get that possible goal line touchdown and then maybe 25, 30 yards rushing every week. You take that in your flex, especially in a set. If you have 2 flex, you put him in the second flex. I'm doing that in one of my leagues this week. So we touched on Bourne a little bit. Are you starting him at all this week? I know you said you weren't starting him over Puka.
No, especially in this matchup because the Patriots are going to be in the same type of game script that they were last week, where Mac Jones is going to be forced into throwing the ball. So if there's a week that you're starting Kendrick Bourne, it's right now.
Yeah. Yep. Agree with that. All right, let's move on to the next game. I know you're just dying to sit down and eat some popcorn.
Come on,
and
2
watch.
more. Let's go.
So we got Saints at Panthers. Saints are given 3 points. Over unders 40, 75 and clear. If Michael Thomas stays healthy, where is he ranked for you? And is he a wide receiver too, or is he still just the flex?
That's what I was gonna say. He's on that line. He's on that line for me. He's like 24, 25, somewhere in that range. But I mean, he just looked good, man. I know Joe and Andy are hard on going after and trading for Michael Thomas. I'm not that far because I love him for this week. I'm starting him for this week, but with his injury history, I'm not going out and seeking a trade for him right now.
Yeah, it's the injury concerns. I don't think I would do that either. But if I had him on my team, you throw him in the flex and you hope he just keeps on going, man. You hope that you found something. All right. On the Panthers side, Miles Sanders looked pretty good, I thought. He got involved in the passing game a little bit. Hopefully he gets involved a little bit more. They were talking about that in the preseason, that they wanted him to get involved in that more so. I mean, again, that offense, it's not a great offense, but who steps up at wide receiver for you? Anybody?
No one. No, I mean, Shark is back this week.
Yeah.
But Bryce Young can't throw him the ball yet. I mean, and every time he tried throwing it down the middle of the field, it was straight to the defender. So I'm not starting any Panthers wide receiver. Now, back to Miles Sanders. I didn't love that Chuba was in the game, I think like 40% of the time. But when Miles was there, he still got 18 carries and 6 targets. So he looked good when he was there, and he still has a big part of this offense.
Yeah, he still had the production. Oh, he still had the carries. And the
but
catches,
I'm not starting anybody on the as far as the Panthers wide receiver.
No, I don't think you can at this point, and probably not ever this year.
What about Hayden Hurst?
That's true. Yeah, he looked pretty good. So he might be the guy there because for rookie quarterbacks, they like dumping it off to the tight ends, right? So if anybody.
Hey, Dallas Goedert just got a catch.
Hey,
first better than last week.
First one of the year. Who had that big run? Did you see? I saw a big run. Do you know who had that?
I think it was DeAndre. No, actually, yeah, I think I saw his number 0. But DeAndre wears a visor. Does he?
I think he does. I think he does.
Am I saying? I don't know.
Maybe DeAndre Swift. Yeah.
I thought I saw number 0. So.
All right, last game, Mike. One more game for you. Then you can watch.
All right,
Browns at
come on.
Steelers. Browns given 2.5. Over under 38.5. 65 and clear there. The defense looked great, but offense left much to be desired on the Brown side for me.
Jalen just threw a pick.
But again,
All right,
so
keep going.
but again, so the Browns D looked good last week, but I think it was more a product of the Bengals offense was just such trash. I mean, they didn't.
Yeah,
Bengals didn't look like they were ready to play football week 1.
Yeah, I mean, you have to
You got to give them a little
put
credit.
some of it on but you have to give them credit at the same time.
Yeah.
And especially going against the Pittsburgh offense that just shit the bed completely, granted against probably the second best defense in the league. But I'm not, I have no confidence in anybody on the Steelers offense. Do you?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson was my guy that I was all in on. And he's
Who
out
says
now.
he's day to day, right?
Yeah, he's saying he's day to day, which is, probably a little bit of a fib.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, on the Steelers side though, do you see anybody coming up outside of Deontay that's gonna do anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm doing DFS, I'm throwing darts at like a Calvin Austin or even Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson had the majority of targets last week. So there's shots that they can do it again this week, but I'm not starting them in a week-to-week matchup.
In any kind of year-long league, yeah.
No, just a DFS dart throw type of player.
I like it for that. All right, Mike, we got through all the games. We did it. Good job.
Thank you.
We
didn't discuss Browns quick though.
Well, I just said that their defense was good. You want to talk their offense quick?
I mean, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Start Elijah Moore because I love Elijah Moore, and I just want to reinforce that.
Okay. him and Amari Cooper were very similar in targets and all that, right?
Right now, me and Andy are tied on that bet.
Okay.
Target leader for the Browns.
All right. Okay, then.
That's all I got, though.
Well, for the original OGs.
There you go. Good one, Doug.
All right. For Mike, I'm Doug. We'll see you guys next time. Later.
Later, guys.